let's do our third article for tonight, and it's also another revisioning of old stuff. Yeah, it was announced today that Shout Studios is set to remake the Roger Corman classic Slumber Party Massacre, and this is going to SyFy. Now, what's interesting about this? Well, there's a few things, but what is interesting to me, and then Chris has his interesting thing, which I think trumps mine, to be honest. But there's 270 Roger Corman films that they, Shout Studios, have acquired when they acquired the New Horizon Picture Library, and this is the one they're remaking. It's an interesting choice, and I didn't really catch the choice. But Chris, you brought something to my attention that I think makes this a really good choice.
Well, most people don't know the Slumber Party Massacre, actually from the first film and throughout the whole franchise, have been directed and written by women. And the first film actually has a little bit of a feminist approach to it, even though they had certain rules under Corman that they had to okay, we need to show some nudity. So you have the whole shower scene and stuff for nude women walking around. So you have a little bit of that male gaze in it. But you also have a guy who's seems to has a has a drill and stuff that's very phallic, and there's a lot of and it changes the it takes certain characters, you associate certain genders with certain types of roles and switches up. And so that's always been a really interesting. And I think when I read about this news, I was like, oh God, this isn't one of those things where they didn't pay attention to that and they hired some male director and a male writer. And no, it's another female a writer and a female director. So I'm kind of excited to see that, to see what they bring to it. And also they mentioned they're putting some kind of new spin on it. So yeah, I'm excited about. I've loved the Slumber Massacre thing. Granted, it's your normal sort of slasher type thing, but I think for me, if you go back and examine it, you examine certain roles and stuff, or certain things you normally see. There's I think in the first one, there's a girl who's looking at a nudie magazine instead of a guy, so it kind of normalizes that women, can be into sexual stuff and not always, but based on a guy. I mean, there's a lot of things in that. I got to actually, when they showed it at the Alamo Draft House here a few years ago, and I actually got to introduce it and talk about some of that stuff.
Wow, nice.
So yeah, I've always loved the films. I mean, the second one gets a little bit crazy with the crazy guy with the guitar drill, but yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with it, what a whole new generation of people do with it, and I'm glad to see that we have a female at the helm as a director and then a writer to sort of put their own take on it, because I feel like that this whole franchise has been, created and run by women. So, I want to see more of that.
Yeah, more of that. Okay, so the director for this is, I'm going to pronounce her name. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Danishka Esterhazy. I have a feeling that's wrong, but forgive me. And she did the Banana Splits movie, if anybody saw that. So put that out there. And it's written by Suzanne Keilly, who wrote Ash versus the Evil Dead TV show on that.
That I'm really excited about, because I was a huge fan of that series.
And it did have a great sense of humor, and this film could lend itself to such a great.
Possible.
Now, Vanessa, I'm unaware if you know of this film. Have you seen the film? If not, what intrigues you about this? If you have, what do you think of this being a remake?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it, and I knew about all the guy with the drill and all that stuff. But I'm interested now that they're doing a remake, and the way that things are handled these days, to go back and watch the original one in preparation for this new one. I don't know. If you put a comedy bent on something from people who have the talent, the proven talent, like Ash versus Evil Dead is amazing, So if you take that and you take somebody who is making a movie like the Banana Splits, which couldn't have taken it so very seriously. I didn't catch that one. But it just sounds like a recipe for a fun slasher movie. And I think those always are the ones that kind of last a little bit. You get the ones that are shocking, those stick around. But when you put something funny on it and people can kind of laugh at what they're seeing, it becomes a little bit more of like a cult classic.
Yeah, we need that B movie that just earns
Yeah,
that
right?
B movie. Right.
Yeah, the Roger Corman movie.
Yeah, he earns that title.
Yeah.
Dave, you agree with that, I'm sure. You love slasher films, and I don't know where Slumber Party Massacre sits in your hierarchy of good to bad slasher movies. Does this seem like one that is this one that you recall fondly? And
well, only for two reasons, really. It was Mark Sjöström's special effects at the time. I think this came out in like what, 81?
82,
something like that. 82, yeah. So Mark Sjöström did the effects, who at the time was was a big name at that era in the slasher craze, and of course Brink Stevens was in it, which was a big draw for any of us who read Fangoria back in the day. The movie itself really isn't that good. The fact they're making it for SyFy is a little troubling, because they're not really be able to do much blood and much nudity, unless we're going to get like an unrated cut on DVD or Blu-ray.
Well, that was going to be my next line. So let's jump on that, because we have gotten similar film that went to SyFy, but there were, these VOD releases before that were uncut. It kind of needs that, doesn't it? I mean,
I would think so. Let's face it. There's not a lot of great plot points in Slumber Party Massacre. We're not gonna break much scripting ground on this one, I don't think.
Pretty straightforward, right?
But we'll see. I'm not sure they could make a movie like Slumber Party, like the '80s version today. I'm not sure it could be done, because it was very, very phallic, very. A lot of sexual innuendo, which I don't know if they can get away with that on SyFy Channel. Maybe. It's hard
to tell these days. Some channels can get away with that and a whole lot more, and other ones, don't even try.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think I'd feel better about it if it was not going to SyFy Network. At least not going there first.
Well,
yeah, nobody can disagree.
There is a quality level that seems to go down once you throw the SyFy brand on top of it, which is kind of sad to say. I mean, unless it's just like intentionally supposed to be bad on purpose.
Yeah.
Like the Sharknado or some of that. Crappy
your
stuff.
Your asylum movies, yeah.
Well, I think even Asylum is a little bit step above some SyFy stuff, not to crap on it, but yeah, I don't know. There's something about, I don't know. It's almost like in the contract you have to make it bad. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It does seem. I mean, you think with it being a cable channel, like AMC or something, that they'd be able to get away with a whole lot more than what they do.
Well, Shout Studios certainly can release the film any way it wants to.
Yeah. They got their own channel. I don't know why they didn't put it on their own channel.
You never know. It might be on there uncut and then on SyFy for
Well, maybe release it on video on demand or something. Yeah, and a little bit more.
Yeah.
That'll be something we have to keep our eye on and see if there actually is 2 cuts. We'll probably review it regardless, right? It's gonna,
as long as it doesn't have a lot of bad CGI in it. That's the only thing I can't be acceptable.
Hopefully it's there's going to be blood splattered on the camera lens. I hate it. They do that all the time now. But what other? I mean, Dave, what other Corman film out of the other 269 films?
Oh my God!
You've got a wide choice. Take your time.
I mean, there's just so many of them, and some of them have already been remade. It could probably be
couple times.
Yeah, a movie like Piranha or something like that would be fun to see done again.
Humanoids from the deep.
Humanoids from the deep. Yeah, exactly. I mean, my God, you could go crazy with them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, just pick one. I mean, that is an impressive catalog to have control over. Holy shit.
I'm looking forward to where this goes. I mean, like I said, we need the B movie classics. We get them, but nope. I don't know if anybody's really embracing them. Can you name anything that's really embracing that B movie feel?
Well, right away. I mean, right off the top of my head, that Psycho Gorman was right there.
Yes.
I mean, good Lord. I mean, that was like right where it is. Did you see they came out with a hunky dude release, or how the hell they say? Anyway, I just thought it was hilarious. They came out.
There's Hunky Dude's collector's edition or something of the movie
So
that
funny.
I need to get because I love that movie so much. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if this is the right thing to say, but I feel like James Gunn stuff almost has a B movie approach to it, even though it's bigger budget. You know,
So
even
something
that,
like Slither.
Well, he
yeah,
did come from trauma. So,
well, even
I mean-
even Suicide, even the Suicide Squad movie he's got coming out feels almost B movie-ish in its approach. You know. But yeah, I don't know. They don't seem to do that. You know, I feel like there's always that sort of like people now just they do their more gritty approach to things, and you know, and so you know, maybe we'll get a new Galaxy of Terror.
Oh my god! All the caterpillar arms
with a huge worm sexually assaulting you, right?
Don't follow that one. Don't follow that one. All right. Well, there you go. That was horror news of the week for this week. Let's hope we can continue. Hey, English. Let's hope we can continue doing that because it's a lot of fun. Just took the words right out of my mouth.
It's not often we get to actually watch a guy have a stroke while we're recording.
All right.
Hey, lady.